When did ancient humans first start eating salt? Salt is one of the most common ingredients in modern food, but have you ever wondered when humans first started eating it? The story of salt goes back hundreds of thousands of years and is closely connected to human survival, migration, and civilization. Today, salt is found in almost every kitchen, but for ancient humans, it was much more than a seasoning, it was a necessity for life. Why humans need salt? Salt contains sodium, an essential mineral that helps regulate fluids in the body, supports nerve function, and allows muscles to work properly. Without enough sodium, humans can experience weakness, confusion, and even serious health problems. Early humans did not need to add salt to their food because they ate large amounts of meat, fish, fruits, and vegetables. Wild animals naturally contain sodium, so hunter-gatherers usually obtained enough salt from their diet. The earliest humans and salt. Scientists believe that the earliest human ancestors were consuming sodium naturally from food more than 2 million years ago. Species such as early Homo habilis and Homo erectus likely received all the salt they needed from meat and plants. At this stage, humans were not mining salt, collecting it, or adding it to food. Salt entered their bodies naturally through the foods they hunted and gathered. When humans started seeking salt. Around 100,000 to 50,000 years ago, humans began spreading into different environments across Africa, Asia, and Europe. As diets changed and some groups relied more heavily on plants, people may have started seeking additional sources of salt. Archaeologists have found evidence that animals often visited natural salt licks, places where mineral-rich deposits reached the surface. Ancient hunters likely noticed this behavior and may have collected salt from these locations. However, direct evidence is difficult to find because salt dissolves easily and leaves few traces behind. Salt and early agriculture. The real turning point came about 10,000 years ago during the Neolithic Revolution. Humans began farming crops and domesticating animals. As agriculture expanded, diets became more dependent on grains such as wheat, barley, and rice. Unlike meat, grains contain relatively little sodium. Farmers therefore needed additional salt sources to maintain a healthy diet. This increased demand encouraged people to collect, trade, and store salt. The first salt production. Evidence suggests that organized salt production began between 8,000 and 6,000 years ago. Ancient communities discovered several ways to obtain salt. Evaporating seawater in shallow pools. Boiling salty spring water. Mining underground salt deposits. Collecting salt from dried lake beds. Some of the earliest known salt production sites have been found in China, Romania, and other parts of Europe. Archaeologists have uncovered pottery used specifically for boiling salty water and extracting salt crystals. Salt becomes a valuable resource. By about 5,000 years ago, salt had become one of the most valuable resources in many societies. It was used not only for eating but also for preserving food. Before refrigerators existed, meat and fish spoiled quickly. Salt helped remove moisture from food, slowing bacterial growth and allowing food to be stored for months. This ability transformed human life. Communities could save food for winter, travel longer distances, and support larger populations. Salt in ancient civilizations. Many of the world's earliest civilizations depended heavily on salt. Ancient Egypt. The people of ancient Egypt used salt extensively for preserving fish and meat. They also used a natural salt mixture called natron during the mummification process. Ancient China. China developed sophisticated salt production techniques thousands of years ago. Salt became so important that governments often controlled its production and trade. Ancient Rome. The Romans valued salt highly. Roman soldiers sometimes received allowances to buy salt, which is one reason the English word salary is often linked to the Latin word salarium. The Romans built trade routes specifically for transporting salt across their empire. Salt trade routes. As civilizations grew, salt became a major trading commodity. Merchants transported it across deserts, mountains, and oceans. In Africa, caravans crossed the Sahara carrying huge blocks of salt. In Europe, entire towns grew wealthy from nearby salt mines. In Asia, salt trade connected distant regions and encouraged cultural exchange. Some historians even call salt white gold because of its economic importance. How salt shaped human history. Salt influenced human history in many ways. Improved food preservation. Supported population growth. Encouraged long-distance trade. Increased government power through taxation. Helped armies travel and store food. Connected different cultures through commerce. Few natural resources had such a widespread impact on human civilization. Did ancient humans love salty food? Humans naturally enjoy salty flavors because sodium is essential for survival. Evolution may have encouraged our ancestors to seek salty foods whenever sodium was scarce. This preference helped early humans maintain proper mineral levels, especially in hot climates where sweating caused sodium loss. However, ancient diets generally contained far less added salt than many modern diets. Salt today. Today, salt is inexpensive and available almost everywhere. Most people consume far more salt than ancient humans ever did. While sodium remains essential, excessive consumption can contribute to health problems such as high blood pressure. The journey of salt from a naturally occurring nutrient in wild foods to one of the most important commodities in human history shows how a simple mineral helped shape civilizations.